Good Friday morning, everybody. Chris Allen with your weather podcast for this December 20th as we get ready for a very busy weekend. It's one of the busiest travel weekends of the year as folks will be heading out for the Christmas holiday. And, there's just going to be a big weather mess across a good chunk of the country. Even in the Pacific Northwest, a new snowstorm is coming in there. For everybody else out west, things will be pretty quiet. It's when you get into the central and the eastern parts of the country, that's where you run into a variety of weather, like, off into the upper Great Lakes, the Midwest, there will be ice and snow. And then it quickly changes over to rain and thunderstorms, a potential for flooding, and then even a risk of severe thunderstorms and maybe even a few tornadoes. As you go from Memphis down to Greenville, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, close to Alexandria, Louisiana, there's a moderate risk for severe storms in that area tomorrow. That's parts of Louisiana, northeastern Louisiana, western Mississippi, a little sliver of southeastern Arkansas, and then right about Memphis, Tennessee. Now, we being southern Kentucky, northern middle Tennessee, have been placed under a slight risk for severe thunderstorms during the day tomorrow, and that severe weather, slight risk, extends from, about Cincinnati through Louisville, Evansville, down to Bowling Green, Nashville, Jackson, Tennessee, Birmingham, and then surrounding that moderate risk area back toward, close to Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, Lufkin, Texas, down to Houston and New Orleans, all the way to the Gulf Coast. So, there is a possibility that we could see enough instability around here tomorrow with the gusty winds that a few thunderstorms may reach severe limits. We're not really calling for an outbreak of tornadoes or anything like that. It's just there could be a few storms that reach, severe thunderstorm status and then move on. But I still think the greater threat that we're looking at for the weekend is going to be the potential for some very heavy rainfall and gusty winds. And that is certainly going to cover a pretty wide area over the southeast as we go through this weekend. So just prepare yourself. Things are looking a little sloppy, a little messy if you're planning on traveling this weekend. If you're going south and east, and especially out east, not too bad at first. But then all of that's going to hit us tomorrow is eventually going to head east along the Atlantic seaboard and the New England states once we get into Sunday. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as this risk for severe weather, it looks like, a line of thunderstorms will try to run through here. We're going to see several waves of heavy rain potential as we go through the day. Today, I think it's just scattered showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two, not a big deal for today. It's more tomorrow when some of the action is going to take place. Well, let's review the numbers from our Thursday, an official high of 62 at the Bowling Green Airport. That happened at almost 2:30 yesterday afternoon. 47 is where we should average for a high temperature, so we were 15 degrees above average. 36 was our low. We averaged 28, so that puts us 8 degrees above average. And a year ago, we had a high of 63 and a low of 34 back in 2012. And so far at the airport, no precipitation, but that was zeroed out at midnight. And that's about when we began to see some of these little light scattered showers that are popping up on radar. Even at this hour, I'm looking at, little cluster of showers back to the west of Bowling Green, about Muhlenberg County, and then a line of scattered showers, and looks like we may even get a rumble of thunder or two with some of these back toward the Ohio River and western Kentucky and all those scattered showers are moving this way. I don't really anticipate a lot of heavy rain today. It's going to be more the scattered variety of showers and thunderstorms, and it will be windy and quite warm. We're looking for a high today around 60 degrees or 66, a 60% chance of showers and possibly a few thunderstorms. And as Shane talked about last night, if you were watching at all any of his weather coverage, he was talking about the possibility of some record-breaking temperatures. That's the other thing that we're looking at for the weekend. In fact, some of his records are showing that for today, the record high is 67. We're calling for 66. That 67 set back in 1949. And tomorrow, we're looking for a high maybe 72 degrees. The record is 71, set in 1967. And even Sunday, we're looking for a high of 63. The record is 66, set back in 1941. So crazy stuff here as this unseasonably warmer air comes in right at the last day of fall, which is today, and maybe a record high 72 for tomorrow, which is the first official day of winter. And winter, the winter solace, as it's called, or solstice, I left out the T, sorry, solstice, arrives at 11:11 a.m. Central Time, and we're going to have a very spring-like day for tomorrow. 100% chance of rain. After scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight, a low of 58, we'll get up to 72. And the rain is just going to be relentless at times. Drenching downpours, torrential rains. We're looking at swollen creeks, streams, and rivers as the water piles on. 2 to 3 inches of rain very likely tomorrow. And then add to that severe weather, possible severe weather threat. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but there will be a couple of maybe severe thunderstorm warnings that pop up with some of the stronger storms. And we continue with a 90% chance of rain and thunderstorms Saturday night, a low of 59, and Sunday morning, we will gradually, from west to east, begin to see the rain taper off. But we're still calling for a 60% chance of rain Sunday morning with an early morning high of 63 degrees. And as that cold front finally moves east of us, temperatures will begin to fall down into the 30s, the low 30s by Sunday night. Gusty winds then shifting from the west and northwest as the colder air begins to come in. But I think most of the moisture will be gone by the time the cold air arrives, so we're not anticipating any winter weather with this system. Now, as everything calms down, we get back to Monday. It'll be partly sunny, colder, a high of only 39. Big difference. Tuesday, of course, is Christmas Eve. We're going to see a chilly day, sunny and 36. Christmas Day, mostly sunny, warmer, 48. And as we get into Thursday of next week, when you decide maybe to take all those Christmas gifts back, don't do that. Just keep it, Or send it to me if you don't like it. 30% chance of showers and a high of 43. I had one request yesterday, someone listening to the podcast saying they're going to go to the Nashville area. It is going to be the same exact forecast here or there as it will be here. We're only an hour up the road from Nashville. Rain and thunderstorms, they are also under a flood watch, severe weather threat there as well tomorrow. By the way, that flood watch that is up right now doesn't include the entire WBKO viewing area, but it will likely be upgraded as we go through the day. I wouldn't be surprised at all that pretty much the entire WBKO viewing area goes under the flood watch for the duration till about noon Sunday. And again, if you live on if you live near a flood-prone area, and I'm talking to those of you that live, there are a lot of back roads that have low water fords on them. Those not quite a bridge, but it's kind of laying across the road. Some of them are concrete, some of them are graded. metal, and when the waters get high, they cover those low water fords and you can't cross. It is very, very likely that's going to happen this weekend, and maybe even into the beginning of next week. We will have flooding issues along the rivers and streams because the waters will come up. They take a while to come up, but then it takes a longer time for them to come back down. So we may have flood issues even through the beginning of next week in a lot of areas with, 2 to 3 up to 4 inches of rain in some cases. That's going to really put hurt on some of the streams and creeks and rivers. So just keep that in mind. In the meantime, have a great weekend. If you're traveling, just be safe and be weather aware. As we always say here, know the weather before it knows you. That way you're never caught by surprise. It still amazes me how many people are caught by surprise. They don't plan ahead. They don't listen to the weather. They don't, what's a podcast? It's easy. Just listen to it. You guys do it. Share it with a friend. Take this podcast and share it with someone else and say, hey, if you're traveling this weekend or if you're anywhere in this region, you need to know the weather. You need to listen to this, and then show them how to listen to it. They can listen to it on their computer. They can download it on their device, their iPod or, whatever, phone, tablet. It doesn't matter. Go to iHeartRadio. It's there. I've got a link to it on our webpage at WBKO.com. There's a link to it on my Facebook page. So it's very easy to get to, and just tell them to click play. That's all they have to do is click the play button. Share this stuff with other people, and hopefully that goes a long way in, prevention and saving lives. That's what it's all about anyway. It's just making you weather aware, situational awareness, preparedness. All that goes together in these situations so that we don't have to hear of somebody, driving through a flooded low water ford or creek or something and then, losing their life. It just hurts every time I hear that. I think that could have been prevented if somebody just paid attention. So anyway, I've rambled on long enough. You guys have a safe weekend. Just be careful. Know the weather before it knows you. God bless you, and thank you for listening. Coming up, I'll see you live at 5:30 on AM Kentucky. And, of course, anytime you want to stream us on your device, you can download the SyncBack app. That's SYNCBAK.com. Go to SyncBack or go to Google Play or the App Store to download the SyncBack app. And you can watch our newscast anytime you want to on any device. And we're also streaming live to WBKO.com.